Hey guys, this is Sage Adams again, and this is part 7 of our Microsoft Access 2013 tutorial series. In the last lesson, we looked at finding and filtering your data, and in this lesson, we'll look at simple queries. In this lesson, we'll go over what queries are and how you'd use them. We'll also learn to create queries with the wizard and the design view, set field sorting, use criteria, and how to create compound criteria. First, let's talk about what queries are and why you should use them. After tables, queries are the heart of a database program. They are how you find and gather the data you need from your tables into useful groupings that can give you actionable information. In our example of comic books, we've got a lot of comics, no doubt, and if we need to find a specific one, we can usually get this by searching or filtering just using the techniques in the previous chapter. However, as we've seen, if you want to save your filters, you'll need to use queries. In addition, sometimes we'll want to do more complicated queries, such as sorting and filtering by multiple values and comparing values with logical and/or operators. The easiest way to create a query other than the filter method shown in the previous video is to use the query wizard. This will allow you to create simple queries that you may then modify to fit your needs. To create one, just go to Create Query Wizard and then Simple Query Wizard. Then click OK. For this example, let's say we want to create a query that shows the comic title, issue number, cover price, and Overstreet Guide value. Choose Tables, Queries, and select the table from which to select your values. We'll use Main. Then choose a field. Use the arrow keys to move the fields to the query and choose more fields as desired. Click Next when done. Because we selected a numeric field, a prompt appears for a detail or summary query. Choose Detail for now because we don't want to perform any math on the numeric fields yet. Click Next again and then Finish. And there's our query, really just a subset of our data, but a saved subset. Now let's try creating the same query with the Query Design view. Click Create, Query Design, and then click the table to include in the query, and click Add. We just need the one table, so click Close. Now there's a new screen. It will look a bit like the Relationships window and also a bit like the Filter by Form window. It's not that hard to use. Just takes some practice. First, let's move our Titles field to the query grid. Set the sort to ascending, issue number, cover price, and then Overstreet value. Then run the query to see how it looks. Great! Now, let's add some criteria. We can really use either query we just created since they're basically the same, but since we've already added a sort to this new one, let's just keep working on it. Click Design to go back to Design View. Now let's say, for example, we want to see comics that are worth more than $10 according to the Overstreet Guide. So put in criteria for that under Overstreet value. Let's put greater than equals 10. I don't have nearly enough comics worth more than $10 to justify my selling my collection, that's for sure. There are lots of criteria you can use in queries, and I recommend you just look in your text on page 133, or if you don't have the text, a Google search of criteria will reveal what's possible. Basically, a lot of the most common operators will be available, such as greater than, less than, like, and or, between, and is null. Okay, one last thing. Sometimes you want to find records that satisfy a multiple criteria. In those cases, you use compound criteria. So let's set one up now. Let's look at our current query. Right now we are returning all comics with Overstreet values greater than 10. But let's say we also want to see only issues of Creepy. Creepy is a funny comic book that also pretends to be a scary comic book. So put that as criteria under title. Don't forget to use double quotes. Now, let's run it again and see what we get. Perfect. That's a great, easy way to see and use a subset of our data. So that's it for simple queries. That wasn't so bad, right? Next week, we'll look at more advanced query concepts.